excited about today. Woo! And let's get into why we're excited about today. All right. Well, one of the things that we like to do is start off a meeting with one of the KW core beliefs. And in this case, let's do the belief system. Let's do it the Tasha way, if anyone can read that far. Are we ready? The Y4C2T's belief system is win, win, or no deal. Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communications, seek first and understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunities for all. And success results through people. Wasn't that fun?
Yay!
That was a lot to say. All right, yeah, worth the clap. I don't know, did any of you get the flop sweats in grade school when you had to start reading in front of everyone?
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I just want to, you're flopping?
I just wanted to point out that Michelle, I don't know where my brain is today.
Okay.
Has an anniversary today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Long time, and I saw that post today, and I got to be honest, I was still delighted to see that post. That was awesome.
Holy fan.
So good for that. Happy anniversary.
Yes.
And speaking of other amazing realtors that we are blessed to work with, let's give it up for Michelle Meredith. Woo! Remember why she won?
Did you just see me fumble somebody's name and then immediately ask why somebody won something?
Well, I was waiting for you to call her
Melissa. That would have been fair. That would have been very fair.
Well, she won because her steady growth each year has been phenomenal. And the reason she isn't here today is because she's at the Jeff Butler events. And she's just at those events. And there's no question why she's growing. She does bowl every time she gets the opportunity to. She just steps up and does it. You know what? Those who show up blow up. And that's impressive to watch. So it's great to know the great people that you are surrounded with, because it's a pretty impressive group of people. And just wanted to go over what we have in store for this month. What we have in store, if you remember, we'll come back to what Jared was last week, what we did with Jared. We have, today we get to hear from the panel of ALC members, which is amazing. It's over 100 million in production combined, which is like, wow. Oh yeah, let's hear that. Yeah. Brian, we have Al's strategy next week, because we do want to stay on top of AI and make sure that we're ahead of it, just like we're ahead of it within our situation, and make sure that you all are growing exponentially along with it. And Colin, economic update couldn't be a better time to do that than right now. There's a lot of shifting factors and levers and gears. A lot of gears. And speaking of gears, I think those of you here last week with Jared, I think there were a lot of sus tears. I saw a lot of head nods. I saw a lot of reflection. Heard a lot of reflection. Saw a lot of people downloading the master prompt to walk through the book, to uncover these things for yourself. And one of the biggest things, and we wanted to follow up with it, as well as do some demonstration or interaction as per the town hall. You all said you wanted to do more lively stuff at the beginning, so we'll do something, hopefully to help illustrate. He had said it's not just important if you want to have different results in 2026, you can add more things to do and have a higher goal, but if this doesn't change and this doesn't change, you're gonna have the same results. So he wanted to help make sure that you were had a clarification on who do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So we thought we'd do something fun. Well, this doesn't look as fun, but we are always in a tug of war with ourselves. What does that mean? So every day it's an invisible battle, not between you and the market, not between you and your competitors. There's two versions, let's say two versions of yourself, but there's two future and current self that's always in tension. So real quick, there's the future you, the person you want to envision. This is a 30-year look here because they're watching Twas the Night, they're reading Twas the Night Displayed the Shift.
Nice.
That's okay. Pardon me. That's weird, it's gone. There, you got your wish. That must be the Maria Moon part they're laughing at. So, what future you, the person who you, I'll just read it here, not later. You're emerging there now. You're clear, you're intentional, future you sets boundaries, chooses purpose, and leads without chaos. And here's where a lot of us often feel right now, right? Scattered, reactive. Your right now, but your right now is not broken. But Jared had also said you're more like a sculpture. And what we do is we tend to put more things on and have to peel back off. That's what this is about today. Too many voices, too little space. So what we're going to do is just a little demonstration. We'll see how it goes. So bear with us. Hope this works. So I will hand over.
Future self.
So, this is where I want you to envision. Of course, I'm probably not the best model for this, but I'm your future self, the one you envision for yourself. And this is where I want to be. This is the choices I've made to be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. This is where I've decided I want to be and who I am going to become. Who are you? You're the you're me now. You're the agent
Yes,
now.
I'm current self.
So you're the current self, I'm future self. If you notice, there's always tension between your future self and your current self. Right?
No offense, but I'd like to look like her.
I think the meeting's over. So there's a natural tension of my choices today and who my future self is. Now, let's bring up notifications. What happens now if notifications in your life are growing, right? Now, other people's needs, who's got that? Look at that, there you go, Megan. Right, what happens? What happens, right? Come on, keep coming up, girls. All right, see how far this is pulling. I'm trying to pull back. I'm trying to be, I want the future self, but look, keep coming, keep coming. So other people's needs, fear and doubt. Here comes the issue of the day. And here comes getting out of the comfort zone. So look at all the hands we have on our current rope in our lives, especially with all the stuff that's in the media. There's always stuff in the media. There's always consumption. We get to decide how much that's going to take away from our future self. Now what happens if we get outside our comfort zone? Yep, thank you. Issue of the day. Fear and doubt. Other people's needs. Notifications. Now everything I'm doing today is going toward my future self. Does this make sense? Just, we want you, thank you. We want you to consider, and ourselves to consider, that, well, make the vision of the future self of you so strong that the right now doesn't have much pull. Too much pull. There's always tension. There's always things we're going to choose to do. But every distraction that we have grabs the rope. Every boundary is back. So we just want to encourage you in the last line. You don't need to be stronger. You just need to be more intentional about who and what gets to pull. Because who and what's getting to pull right now, assess it, make a choice. Does it align with okay, I got caught up in that big time over the weekend. Hence, thought of Jared. I'm like, okay, I'm a guy that likes to analyze all of it and just see what happens, you know. And it didn't serve me. I had no control over it. I feel like I had more control because I had more information, but it really controlled me. And I had to do this. So I hope this is a good lesson. And the one thing I do want you to visualize is if this is your, I won't make you guys do it, that you're not just holding the rope yourself, your future self. All of leadership that's up here and all of you in this room are pulling on your behalf this way. That's why a support system is so important. People have a lot of good care about you. That sound good? Did we bore you or was that okay? All right, there's a couple claps. Hope Carol's ready to hang me or something. But, well, thanks. Speaking of strong women, let's bring up Toddy. Okay.
Hey everyone. Okay, so a couple of things that we have. Going on the rest of this month and coming up is we have Kyle Cross coming on Tuesday, January 20th to talk about how to take 10 listings a month. So that's definitely going to be a great class for you to come to, the showcase class this month. We are going to host, and I didn't update that, but we are at exactly 24 people. So I did think so much confidence out of all of you that we're going to get one more. So we are going to go ahead and host the secrets. Thank you so much for all of you getting signed up. Some of you thought that signed up and you hadn't, so I really appreciate you getting signed up. That's great.
Danny Tudewall just said he would.
Sweet!
Thank you for volunteering. God.
Thank you.
Never pull the rope
Good way to do
words
it.
out.
That wasn't. Yeah, you're right. So yes, we're excited to host this with Mike. We're working. Please know that we're really trying to work with Mike to get those classes to you on what he's actually going to be doing. We're taking the past 2 years CE blitz that we posted and making sure that we're not doing any of the repeat classes. So if you have been to CE blitz in the last year or two, please note that you will not have any overlapping classes. He just was a busy guy and working to get those to you. So stay tuned for that. And then of course, we have the Pro Standard Evening in Black Tie. This is our annual award ceremony where we'll be celebrating the 2025 awards. So please make sure that you're getting signed up for that. We would love to be able to have members at least 2 weeks before the event. The event is on February 13th. So we still have a little bit of time, but please get signed up for that and note your +1 in there as well. And then last but not least, we have our lunch and learn today with Sky Blue Inspection sponsoring lunch. So thank you, they're there in the back. They're going to start at 12:10 and do a little bit of a lunch and learn, tell you about who they are, what they do, and then you'll be able to ask them any questions that you might have so we can thank them for lunch. Finally, starting next week, we have them made. We're just finalizing a couple of things. There's going to be a QR code on every table in the training room. Those of you that were here, remember those flip signs? Those are great. However, they do take up a lot of time, but we want to make sure that you're able to get all of your events and things in one spot. So there's going to be a QR code on the table starting next week that you can scan. I would recommend bookmarking that, and you can refer back to that. It'll have all of the calendars, the training calendar, the tentative 2026 calendar, our events that are coming up, and our trainings that are coming up. And if there is an RSVP link, it will be in there. So everything is in one spot. So thank you.
Nice. Thank you. You did such an amazing job with all of that. And speaking of something, I'll jump ahead. All right. Well, let's bring up our Melissa.
Always have to do this because I love to have some fun around here. I am proud of you. I admire you. You guys work so hard. You work tirelessly, and I can tell that you are doing it right now because our office front staff has actually been bogged down with withheld listings. So hands up for a really good and hats off for a really good start to the year. A question that has come up recently that I just want to remind you about as you're doing those new listings and asking of yourselves, is this attic bedroom really, or space really a bedroom? Is this basement space really a bedroom? The answer is you need to check with your local county to determine if it's actually a legal bedroom space. All the counties are a little bit different. So North Star MLS requires that a bedroom can be counted as such, but only if the county or possibly the city recognizes the space as a legal bedroom. So that's who you need to contact. Under Minnesota state law, it needs to have at least 70 square feet and one either door or egress window to get out of the space. But some areas have different codes that require other things, like a closet or, something like that. Yeah, ceiling height and such. Yep, exactly. So as you're asking of yourself, as you're preparing your new listings and your withheld listings, do I count this as a 5-bedroom or a 4-bedroom? Call that county and then maybe call the city. Our data that we utilize on the MLS really relies on accuracy. So please take that extra step and verify. Jason.
Or you could click the city button on kwpr-dashboard.com
Thank you.
and not have to call anybody. You can just
Utilize,
read the rules.
there you go. Utilize that dashboard. All right. Thanks, everyone. Good luck. Keep it up.
Speaking of conforming and non-conforming loans, let's bring up the race group. How about that? Let's give it up.
We need to close out. We already did this here to
Dominate.
cheat. So let's get, you can, yeah. Did you, it's coming. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna expand that QR code.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so while you guys are getting logged in, just want to have a really quick announcement regarding a mutual club event. So Kate, do you want to give everyone the date and the details?
Sure.
Keep messing it up.
January 29th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to be doing a mutual club event with a couple other market centers, and it's probably going to be at Crib in St. Louis Park. Going to be finalizing that today, and then some info will go out on the close Facebook group, and I'll send it to stuff like that. You guys don't know.
And just so you guys know, like, you do not have to be participating in Agent Plus or intending to do that. Just if you're part of the market center, we just want to get out together, hang out, have some drinks, have some food. It'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, so the 29th, we will definitely get information out to you guys.
Totally.
We're also kind of making sure that we have space, so we need to expand it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Today's going to be focused around condominiums, and there's a reason for that, because we've had a lot of people asking questions about condos and running into some condo issues. I brought this up at a team meeting yesterday. I just kind of want to follow this theme because I feel like right now we're working with a lot of people that are transitioning out of maybe a rental property and are expanding their searches to like the condominiums. And who in here, show of hands, has had an issue with a condo, whether on the buy side or the list side, within the last year or two? They're frustrating. And the reason why they're frustrating a lot of times is because there's not a really good infrastructure to figure out whether a property is warrantable or non-warrantable. So let's get started and we'll talk a little bit about it. We're going to kind of breeze through this, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on the answers, but we do want to get through the booth. There's 4 questions this time around.
All right.
3, 2, 1. And I'll read them. So what makes a condo project non-warrantable? It can be one of these 4 things. The HOA has more than 50 units, more than 50% of the units are investor owned, the building has an elevator, or the units are over 10 years old. What is generally what makes a condo project non-warrantable? Geo party. Okay, so it's the investor owned piece. So what we found is that, and you guys know too, like you could have a condo unit or a condo building that was warrantable last year. And then you have a large investment group come in and scoop up a lot of the units. That would be something that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac take issue with. They want to see owner occupancy within the condo building. So kind of doing some digging and some research into that is really important. More than 50% of the units are investor owned would be a red flag. Oh, it is, yeah, okay. It's the same name and I love it every time. Condo project with ongoing litigation is always ineligible for conventional financing. So if there's a condo project with ongoing litigation, will it always be ineligible for conventional financing? It's a tough one. It is not always an absolute deal killer that litigation will be ineligible for conventional financing. There are times where that litigation is something that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will look at and consider depending on the type, depending on similar cases going on within the portfolio. We actually just had one the other day that worked with some litigation on it. It had to do with a subway line. That's not going to affect the building per se. It's part of it, or not a subway line, a bus line. Why have some condo loans become harder to approve in today's market? Increased HOA insurance costs and assessments, lower appraised values, higher property taxes, or shorter loan terms. So increased HOA insurance costs and assessments, lower appraised values, higher property taxes, or shorter loan terms. It is. Higher HOA insurance costs and assessments. So just a really quick bonus question. If you see a property listed at $250,000 for sale, and you see an HOA due of greater than $700, is that a good sign or a bad sign? That's a bad sign. Not ideal. Something's going on there, right? Unless they've got like a state-of-the-art Peloton studio in the basement that cost a lot of money last year, which most of these 250 units don't have. That's a sign. So it's not always a deal killer, but it's usually an indication that the HOA is having reserve problems or financial problems. Last one. What percentage of total units in a condo project can typically be delinquent on HOA dues for conventional financing? So how many of the units can be delinquent before conventionals like this is a problem? 5, 10, 15, or 25%. It is 15. We typically want to see it under 15%. Again, there can be exceptions made, but if 15% of the owners of the condos are delinquent, that's usually an indication that we can't put on that, or you need to go and get like a special approval. Lamb? Who's that?
I knew it.
No, zero number 2. So you got number Casaru. All right. Congratulations. We got Congratulations, guys. So thank you guys. We are mark the calendars for the mutual club event. We're really excited about that. We will send out information once we have the venue finalized down, but it will definitely be somewhere on the western side, probably in that St. Louis Park area. And then if anyone has any questions on Agent Plus, please call us. 29. Exactly.
Thank you both, Katie and Jen. Thank you. Awesome. Well, as we had said, we're going to have the ALC come on up here, and we're going to have them as a panel. And while this is occurring, I thought we'd go over what we've done. So every ALC attends a full class, and then they also for a full day class, and then we also do a retreat. We did a retreat on Summit Avenue here, as you can see, and they have the best garbage man, as you can tell there.
Thank you.
This isn't a good image, however, I wanted to show you that. I wanted to show you that it was funny because Olivia spoke. This is a whole day
You guys
event.
don't feel outnumbered at all, do you?
No, not at all.
They love it.
This is an all day event, but
It's off
Olivia made
camera.
sure that I
Yeah.
got the large little picture of her awesome in the back.
Yeah, we tried that and it's off camera for
Always have to go in front.
People on camera need to see you.
Okay.
And then you got.
CC will take over.
Right. I would like to just ask everyone if you could just give a round of applause for the ALC 2023. Fantastic. These are our elite, these are our representatives. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start this way. I'm gonna ask them to start here. We're gonna roll this way. I just want you to state your name, how long you've been in real estate, and how long you've been here at KWPR.
Trish Rude, coming up on 11 years in February and 3 years at KWPR. I think great. Yeah.
And then how many times have you been on PLC, or if this is your first time?
This is my second time. Second time? Somebody help me.
Ryan Salio, this will be my 11th year in business, 3 years at KWPR, second go around.
Bryce Schinke, in the business for 8 years, KWPR for 1 year and 3 months, and then second go around for the ALC.
Lisa Brainer, almost 10 years, 5.5 here at Kelly. Oh, ALC, I think, like, what? I think this is my 4th time.
Sarah Anderson, just over 10 years in the business and just over 10 years at Keller Williams for Realty. If I've ever met. And I was just counting quick. I think this is 8 years on the ALC.
Wow.
Alexa.
Thank you.
I'm Kelly Arvidsson, and I am 10 years in the business. And this, I think, is my 4th year in the ALC. I was on for 3, and then I was off last year, and then I joined again this year. I've been here, started here for about 3 years, left for 1.5 years, came running back after a little while. And so here again, I don't know, 7 years. 6.
Maria McDonald saying, we say 34 years in business. I've been here about 1.5 years. This is my 2nd year on the ALC, and for some crazy reason, they invited me back this year. So I didn't learn their lessons or something.
Pam Rizak, I am coming up on 9 years in the business. This is my first time on the ALC, and as of January 6th of this year, I've been here 1 year.
Pam Schlake. I've been in real estate for just over 6 years. I've been here for just over 1 year. In ALC, this is my 2nd year.
Tony Cater, I've been in real estate 30 years. I've been at KWPR for 10 years, and this is my first time in the ALC.
Fantastic. So I'm gonna just
Mikey.
go ahead.
Mikey.
Oh, and Mikey. Yes, Mikey.
Looming over.
Hi.
I've been in real estate for 13 years now. Been on the LLC the 2nd time, and I think I have been with Keller Williams 4 or 5 years now. I lost counting.
And this is my 3rd time, actually.
Perfect.
And Scotty Ringley, who is
Yes.
vacationing.
Awesome. So we're just want to make this very, very conversational. So this part of the discussion with you, I just want to start out by saying, what's the appeal? Why did you choose to be on ALC? What made you say yes to being ALC? Anybody? Yeah.
I'll start. There's no other brokerage that has as much voice as Keller Williams from a perspective of the agents being involved in making policy decisions or helping each other grow and collaborate. So I think from our perspective of me being another brokerage and coming here, I think it just goes to show like we have a lot of say in how the brokerage is ran, and I think it's a really important piece to be a part of. If you're eligible and in the future years, I highly encourage you to at least do it 1 year.
I would say for me, I like to be part of the heavy hitters and just getting to know everybody and what's successful for them, what's not. That's kind of one of the biggest learning pieces. And then you just surround yourself with people like that. You're just gonna grow. So that's why I like it.
I would piggyback on that. It's being in the room with all these incredible, powerful agents, and it also feeds the leadership side of me. I love to give into others. I was a teacher in my former career, so I love that leadership part of it as well.
I've joked that I like being on the ALC because I'm nosy and I like knowing what's going on. And there's some truth to that, but really it is. It's about everything that everyone has said so far, and then the accountability that we have with each other. You know, even being in the top 20%, we need to be held accountable to doing what we say we're going to do and working towards our goals. So I know I need that.
Piggyback off of that, I mean, that's a weekly commitment we make to each other to be accountable to one another. And I think that leads us to just be better all the time. So it's great. It's fantastic.
So, you know, so everyone here hasn't had the benefit of being at the ALC clinic that goes on and benefiting from Jane Shaw talking to you about what the expectations are for ALC. But would you kindly tell the people who don't know, what is the #1 goal for ALC? What is the focus?
We're focused on agent businesses.
To build your businesses. So the #1 goal for us to have for ALC is for this market center to build their business. So they remain not just the elite, but then that trickles down. How has that accountability piece served you to be better agents and to remain in that top 20%?
Well, there's a little pressure to kind of hang out with these guys. I mean, there's a lot of pressure to kind of be able to run with the big dogs here. Like, I mean, to be able to ask to call up Bryce and say, I need some help on this contract is, I mean, I don't have any hesitation to be able to do that because he's willing to do that. I know, and I've said this multiple times to you guys, that I've had lots of experiences at multiple different brokerages, big ones, small ones, and I've never experienced the collaboration that we get here. And the fact that all of these people here that are such high producers are willing to take time out of their day to sit with me and to help me grow and encourage me to hold me accountable for what I'm doing or not doing. And if I'm off track, then how to put myself back on track by them giving me some encouragement and pushing me along. It's been fantastic. And it does trickle down to everybody in the brokerage today. I mean, Brian Swordall just came up to me at the beginning of the meeting and gave me his vendor list that he's put all sorts of time and effort into it and shared that with me. And that's the type of stuff that, I mean, you don't get that at anyplace else. It's wonderful.
Anybody else?
That's why we call the Keller Williams family.
What did Mikey say?
What did you say that again, Mikey?
I said that's why we call Keller Williams family.
Yeah. So if you're not on ALC, okay, let's talk a little bit about what are some, in your opinion, or what you've heard, or maybe have some inkling as to, what are some assumptions made about you all on ALC? What do they not know what goes on in your meetings? Your wins and your losses, things like that.
One thing that I would say right away is you all are invited to all of our meetings. So you should definitely come and show up and hear what we're talking about, because we're discussing things that are really serving you as the agents. We can't serve you unless you tell us your opinions on it too. So like, I almost look at it as like we're kind of a student council or like a government system, right? Like we're trying to make decisions, but if you don't give your input to us on different things that are being brought up, whether it's events or policies or whatever, we have to make assumptions for all of you if we don't hear that opinion. So we're going to do our best to kind of chime in and make sure we're working on behalf of you too.
To piggyback off that, we're also here to help, available. Collaborate or bounce ideas off of, or just having good conversations with them. I think that's one thing we'll be more intentional with this year is, we were talking about this morning, just reaching out to some agents so maybe don't make it to the meetings that we don't see regularly, but we're all a big family together after that. How to keep that going.
And piggybacking off what you're just saying is the relationship that we have built because we talk to each other every week and we hold each other accountable, like that helps us grow personally, but that's what we are to all of you. And so come into the meetings, or if you connect with one of us, reach out. We're happy to go to lunch or coffee and just be that person for you. That's part of our job as well.
When do you all meet, by the way, in case people don't know or they don't necessarily refer to the Market Center's calendar? When do we meet?
Second Wednesday before the 10th.
Are you asking or?
Is it the
Second Wednesday at 9:15.
Okay, perfect.
But we also meet.
But we meet.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Talk about that.
Happy hours?
Yeah.
We're gonna have we have been having, but we're gonna make sure everybody knows about it, a monthly happy hour at various locations. And so we'll be there. So it's for you guys. And just for us to be able to meet and get to know you and just be your go-to person if you need that.
Yeah, I don't know, we've been doing these happy hours monthly for at least a year or two, but I don't know that we've been very good about making sure people know when it says ALC happy hour, that's the ALC inviting you to be there.
Not
So
just
we're gonna be better about that this year.
We're happy most of the time.
Yeah.
So you have to share that with me.
Okay, perfect. Let's talk about growth. My favorite subject. When I say growth, ALC 2026, what does that mean to you? Growth.
Production. But it also means building your profit sharing, your double lines, and encouraging growing the market center. I think it's also about lifting all of us up in order to all be better and to do our jobs better. So,
And to be better even on a personal level.
yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Go into that a little bit.
Improving.
Yeah, learning and education and just becoming more knowledgeable, the more we help ourselves. I'm not very good with words, but I think the better that we become inside of ourselves, the better we are on our outsides and our professional lives, if that makes any kind of sense. The more we love ourselves, the better we're gonna do our jobs.
Yes, growth. We're gonna stay on this for a little bit. What does growth mean to you? What do you think of when you hear growth?
I think of just, no matter where you are in your business life, always, well, and your life in general, but always looking to learn. And, I think about that personally, and I think about that with my business. One of the reasons I want to be on the ALC every year is that accountability and continuing to push myself. But then as far as the ALC is concerned, it's also growth of the market center. And, continuing to push us all as a whole to do better and to grow and to bring on agents that just continue to lift us up. Yeah.
And align with our values.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with this one more. I need someone else to talk to me about growth. You're hitting them, you're hitting them, you're hitting them. But
growth is for us also achieving our goals. We are setting our goals at the beginning of the year, and we are achieving them by keeping each other accountable.
so again, I'm not on ALC 2026 and I am struggling in my business. What is the avenue or what can I do to approach you if I don't know you, to get answers, to get your help and helping me to become a capping agent here at KWPR? What can I do to reach out to you all?
Got an awesome roster that is in MLS where you can type anybody's name in and you have their phone number and email address with the click of a button. think I can speak for everyone on here that anybody's always open to a phone call or an email or a meeting or whatever it might be to just chat.
I think whoever you resonate with, you can reach out to or ask leadership who's got a similar story, and they can recommend somebody if you know they don't know.
Yeah.
And sit in on the ALC meetings and the mega agent meetings, and you'll learn so much just from being there and observing so many little tidbits that come out.
Yeah.
In every meeting.
I think too, a majority of us are here every day, just knocking on the office door. Always happy to sit down.
I love the idea of finding someone you resonate with. So I'm gonna do a quick little speed round. Just want you to raise your hand so people can get an idea of who you are. How many ALC 2026 members right now are parents? Awesome. How many of you have had a career maybe in service, like bartending, hospitality? Are you coming from that industry? Okay. How many of you are coming from education? How about services like law enforcement or how many of you maybe were not working? Maybe you were at home, stay-home parent. Okay.
Teacher and
Yeah. Who's the fun one in the group? Who's always down for the party? Yeah. Who's the numbers person on ALC 2026? Who's the serious one? Who's always just nose to the grind and just working it when it comes to lead genning and doing business?
Right.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Who's the quiet one? Who's the person you maybe have to draw out a little bit, but they're all in when it's time to come? Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Does anyone make sourdough?
There. This morning. There you go. Perfect. All right.
Cornered the market.
Nice. Yeah. So a lot of I think there's an assumption that because you are you're the top 20% or even more so, that there's always a win, right? Do you guys talk about your losses or when sometimes you don't win? And what does that look like? What does it sound like? How do you communicate with each other on that?
We probably support each other the most, I would say, from a personal aspect more than our business. Because I mean, being a realtor, it has its own unique challenges and different things that nobody else, unless you do this business. You could be a business owner of a completely different business, right? But our business is very unique, some of the challenges that we face. So from a personal perspective, like we all have our own things going on outside and at home and things like that. But I would say that's probably where we uplift each other the most, is that we're very open about our personal lives and what we've got going on that then becomes a potential stumbling block for our business. And so we really are good about supporting each other in that way.
Piggyback off, we laughed, we cried. I've definitely been there for each other to help get through tough situations. And the accountability, just that support.
I do feel like this is a very safe group to approach. I know I personally have been very vulnerable the last year and a half, or year, talking about some of the struggles I've dealt with on a personal basis with my children. Not Megan. But I have felt very safe in order to have those conversations and be very vulnerable and to have them support me and not on our 10 o'clock Thursday morning calls. It's every day. And that's pretty powerful to be able to have that within our group. And I think that resonates. I hope it resonates down to everybody else, that you can feel that from us, that we're approachable and willing to just listen. Sometimes it's just, it has something to do with business. I just hate to vent. My door is always open for venting, so.
No judgments.
We're going to talk about committee in a second, but I want to just take a break right here and talk to the audience and say, can you raise your hand if you feel like there is at least one person on this ALC that you feel like you can approach and just be honest and transparent with. Okay.
There is not one.
That's really good. That's really great. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about committees, okay, because you guys have to pull together, and we have events, and we have this way of pulling ourselves together because we need to provide value. Talk to the market center and your fellow coworkers on your constituents about committees and what that looks like, especially for this year.
We shrunk it. I mean, we shrunk it, but we made it bigger, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, we only are doing 2 committees this year versus 12.
Yeah.
Which we hope is more impactful for the market center.
And we're focusing on growth and culture.
Yes.
So the 2 committees are correct, are growth and culture. So we have a growth committee and a culture committee. And, you know, before all those other little committees that we kind of had fit under one of those 2 umbrellas. So trying to keep things a little more simple to actually make us more efficient.
And you welcome and seek
And
more,
we, yes,
more people
welcome
to be on your
people to join
committee if they'd like to help and.
Fantastic. Okay, before I open it up to the audience, 2 really quick questions for you, ALC 2026. What's the easiest part? What's the easiest part about being on ALC?
Showing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Relationships.
What's most challenging?
Having to listen to Jamie.
It's true, bro. Scared how quick that rolled up.
What's the most challenging part about being on ALC?
I'll speak as a new person coming in, right, this bond has already been formed, and Pam and I are kind of new people with this. And truly, when I said yes, because I've been asked repeatedly to be on the ALC, I didn't really fully understand what it was. And so I thought it was like attending these meetings once a month to be the voice for everyone, and I thought, I can do that, I can give that. And then all of a sudden I found out about accountability and growing my business. And I thought it took me weeks of like battling that. I think every one of us who's trying to grow your business, whether you're first year or 30 years in, that is always a little bit scary. And so then to be in community with these amazing people and looking at growing my business, very vulnerable, right? Because I'm going to be held accountable, and none of us, we agreed. Nobody likes that word. We even thought about changing it to something else more reasonable, but we needed to be accountable. So we, like, for me, it's very challenging because it's, right, I can run my little business by my little self in my little corner and not show, COVID happened and working from home became very easy. So not being here and not being present and not being in relationship became the norm. But I miss this culture, and I know for my business and for myself, being present and with amazing people will make me be better. And so it's a curse and a blessing, and it's, still, we're just starting, and it's just getting started. I'm already blessed by the communication and the support everyone has putting out there. But it is more than just showing up one Wednesday a month and voting. It truly is committing to helping your business.
Let's open it up to the audience. Who has questions for these people? Who has questions for the ALC? Questions? Okay.
From the weekly calls or in brainstorming sessions, what's one thing that you gained from another agent in the ALC that you implemented to help your business already?
I think we all like CMA, we jumped on that. Fast.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's doing sending out CMAs to past clients or hot leads or on an annual basis at the beginning of the year.
Her sharing her lead gen. I was gonna say Bryce, we just all had a big wow, which we're happy to share about contracts. For if you have a contract you're writing, and have that instance where you have to go back and change the date because somebody didn't sign a couple days later. Fix for that, we were all just like, holy cow, doing that moving forward.
Well, what was the fix?
But I'm sure it did.
It's, if you know, you can have people sign in line instead of getting it all at once, having it sign in line and the last person that's in line to sign, use their auto date as your contract start date. So that makes it so that whoever's signing last, the dates match.
That makes sense, Sasha?
But you have to do sign in line, otherwise it won't work.
So do you always do sign in line now so that it's, okay.
Yep, and that's it, and you just need to have that conversation with your clients to say, hey, this person's getting it first, once you sign, as soon as you get done signing, it's gonna go to the next person and they'll get it. So that they know they're not looking at simultaneously and you tell them who's getting it first. So.
Any other questions from the audience of your ALC 1226? Yes, Misha.
I know there's some repeat performers. What makes you continue to be on the ALC or decide to join for the first time?
I took a year, oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. Sarah's done this too. I took a year off last year. No specific reason, I guess. I just kind of was like, I need to focus more on my business, you know, and I wasn't on it last year. And then kind of was like, you know, kind of like Sarah, where it's like, oh, they get to do all those fun things. And I want to be a part of that. You know, you kind of miss out and, you know, kind of being in the know on things and, you know, so that's why I decided to come back and also realize that me doing my own thing wasn't necessarily going to help my business. I don't think as much as, you know, being part of this. And, you know, they always, you know, talk about, well, not like we talk about it as the ALC, but you hear, you know, you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with or whatever, or, you know, never be the smartest one in the room. And so that's why it, you know, brought me back here. That I was, you know, in business and hearing wins and losses from these guys to help me with my business as well.
And I'd say like simply, it's way more fun to play with others in the sandbox than by yourself. So whether it's like growing and to grow, you're gonna fail. And when you can fail with surrounded by other people that have either done that before or doing it too, as well as successes, it just pulls you back up. So for me, it just keeps me focused and on the train. Otherwise, I might just kind of wander because that's just kind of what you do if you're by yourself. So.
I would piggyback on that, and then also as a way to have us in the South Metro and kind of out of the metro area to help keep us agents down in the Southern Minnesota area connected to the brokerage is the other reason why I keep coming back to ALC, to try to be that voice for those in St. Peter, Mankato, Belle Plaine, et cetera, and keep us connected and tied in here. As well as all those other things you said.
Yeah, and Mikey's agreeing.
She's
3 hours away in Marshall. Yeah.
She'd be here.
By the Iowa and South Dakota border, so I absolutely love coming up and seeing everybody.
So from the audience, I just want to ask, now that you know that it's open, just to show out hands, who thinks maybe for sure they can show up to one ALC meeting just to kind of hear what they're talking about? Okay. What about the happy hours? Would you show up if they call you? Fantastic. Okay. That's it.
Got something real quick. I just want, so the
Yeah.
connectivity part, I just wanted to ask real quick. So the connectivity part, you talk about the losses and hearing, helping each other, but also hearing each other's struggles. How does it really help?
For me, it's when I have a loss, and I share it with others and we're talking about it, just, it makes me, it's not so much of a loss anymore as it is a win because I've learned from it.
And you're not alone.
Say it again, Mikey.
You're not alone.
Right.
You're sharing our experiences.
And it's always better. The one thing that's better from making a mistake and learning from it is hearing someone else's mistake and learning from it, so you don't have to make that same mistake. The other thing is another thing that really pulls the rope from what we did earlier in the wrong way is comparison. And one advantage of being plugged into a group like this and any of our groups and any of our classes is to hear and learn that all due respect, y'all, but y'all got issues. Right? They just didn't appear here and suddenly they're, top producers and that's it. Okay, this is going off the wrong way, but Patrick Mahomes, a quarterback in the Chiefs, I thought I saw even like it's the wrong team, but anyway, he grew up in a baseball clubhouse because his dad played professional baseball. And he was able to achieve at a high level very quickly because he heard and saw the top players in the clubhouse, not just how they succeed, but what they do to overcome issues. They hear the issues, they overcome the issues. He absorbed that for 10 years and was able to become who he is today. So.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
And I'm not gonna use that same word everybody else has been using the whole time, otherwise everybody's gonna be taking shots pretty soon with saying the word piggyback, so.
I know.
To bounce off of what you just said, I would say visit the clubhouse. This is the clubhouse. Like, there's lots of amazing people that are here every single day. And we want all the amazing people that we don't see very often come in more often so that we can bounce ideas off each other. And if we're not all in the same clubhouse, so to speak, we're not able to do that as easy. So I'd say if you're somebody who doesn't come to the office very often, like, make a habit of scheduling some office time here. We got a beautiful remodeled area to sit down and do work in and have all the resources. So come on in and chat. Top shop.
All right. And you can be around the people who've got your end of the rope. These people have your end of the rope for your future self, and we all have it for each other. So
ALC 2026.
Wrap it up.
I think you want to talk about the lunch and who's coming up next.
Yeah. And there's a slide.
Oh,
let's see how long we can make the ALC.
Mikey.
Sit here. Isn't that a lovely photo? Oh, and we have this slide, and we don't necessarily need to, even if this time is up. However, this is all the information that came from the town hall about what it means to have a strong growth culture. So strong growth culture, success equals successful agents that attract more great agents. The more great agents, the more opportunities we all have. So these are those things, and thank you for contributing mightily to that. So next slide, please, sir. And be ready for the lunch and learn. We get to hear from Sky Blue, and thank you for the lunch. And we're looking forward to hearing your services. And thank you all for being here. And hopefully we all learn something together and grow together today.
Right on time, Danny. Right on time.
I have a call I need to make.
Okay.